Here's something strange. The moment you're trying to escape is the only place your healing actually lives. Most people spend years running from discomfort, scrolling, staying busy, doing anything but sitting with what hurts. But what if that restless ache you carry isn't a problem to solve? What if it's a message waiting to be understood? In the next few minutes, you'll discover why returning to this present moment, exactly as it is, doesn't just bring peace, it transforms your pain into something that finally makes sense. About 2,500 years ago, somewhere in northern India, near a quiet river that fed into the Ganges, at the edge of a forest, there stood a single great tree. Its name was Asata. It would later come to be known as the Bodhi tree, the tree of awakening. The season was spring. The night breeze still carried a trace of cold, but from deep within the earth, something warm seemed to rise in silence. Insects called out near and far. A sky full of stars burned without a sound. At the roots of that tree, a man sat alone. Just one person, quietly, simply there, no one else around. No fire, no lantern, no one to show the way. Only the darkness of night, the feel of the earth beneath him, and his own breath. That night, that air, is where today's story begins. He had walked a long road to reach that tree. Years of wandering, of eating almost nothing, of sitting in the sun until his skin cracked and his bones pressed through like river stones, all of it in search of something he could not yet name. And now, at last, he had stopped walking. That stillness was not defeat. It was the first honest thing he had done in years. For so long he had believed that the answer lay somewhere ahead, past the next river, past the next teaching, past the next hunger. But sitting beneath that tree, with nowhere left to go, he finally turned toward the only place he had never truly looked. The man's name was Gautama Siddhartha. He had been born a prince of a small kingdom, raised in comfort and ease. But one day he left the palace walls and saw, truly saw, a person bent with age, a person wasted by illness, a person dying, and something inside him broke open. Why do people suffer? Why can't we escape this suffering? The question would not leave him, and so he left. He walked away from his wife, his child, his title, his wealth, all of it. For 6 years he searched for an answer. First, he studied under strict teachers of meditation. No matter what depths he reached, something in him said, "This isn't it." Next, he pushed his body to its limits, fasting until his bones pressed through his skin, until he could no longer stand. Still, the answer didn't come. At the end of those 6 years, something shifted in him. Struggling to find an answer, and running from the struggle, aren't these the same mistake? He stopped. He bathed in a river. He accepted a bowl of rice porridge from a village girl. The warmth of that simple meal moved through his body like a quiet revelation. And then he sat down beneath a tree. "I won't move from this place, not until I have understood." That was his vow. At first there was stillness. He felt his breath, he felt the earth, he was simply there. But before long his mind began to stir. Memories surfaced. The palace, his wife's face, his young son's laugh. If only I had stayed. I wonder how they are. His heart drifted backward into the past. Then came the fears about tomorrow. Will I ever truly awaken? What if I spend my whole life and find nothing? What if I'm wrong? His mind leapt forward into a future that hadn't come yet. And in that moment, Gautama did something. He simply noticed, my mind has gone somewhere. And he came back to here, back to his breath, to the feel of the earth beneath him, to the cold of the night air against his skin. Then his mind wandered again. Desire rose, fear rose, anger rose, wave after wave, and each time he did the same thing. Notice, return, notice, return. How many thousands of times, no one can say, but it was never a fight. Fighting only made the waves higher. It was only this, notice, return. That was all. And then the night began to pale. The morning star appeared low in the eastern sky, and something in Gautama quietly opened. A stillness spread through him. No resistance, no grasping, just being. In that moment, it is said, he saw through everything, to the very root of suffering, and to the path that leads beyond it. He would come to be called the Buddha, a word that simply means one who has awakened. And what he did over and over in that long night, that practice of noticing and returning, is the heart of everything we'll talk about today. Before we go any further, sit with that image for a moment. A man alone beneath a tree, the ground cold beneath him, his mind pulling him in every direction, and yet he stays. not because he is fearless, but because he has stopped pretending the fear is the enemy. Most of us spend our lives doing the opposite. We feel the wave rising, and we either chase it or run from it, never once thinking to simply watch it arrive and pass. What the Buddha practiced through that night, Buddhism calls sati, sometimes translated as right mindfulness. It sounds formal, but the meaning is beautifully simple. It just means noticing what is happening right here, right now. You may have heard the word mindfulness. It comes from this same root. But long before it became a modern wellness practice, it lived in the roots of that Bodhi tree, in the quiet of that spring night, 2,500 years ago. One of the things the Buddha discovered was this: left to itself, the mind doesn't stay here. Our minds are restless things. From the moment we wake to the moment we fall asleep, the mind is moving, replaying what someone said in a meeting yesterday, worrying about a deadline that's still a week away, wondering why a stranger looked at us a certain way. Researchers have found that we spend roughly half our waking hours thinking about something other than what we're actually doing. Half our lives, half the time, the mind is somewhere else entirely. The Buddha noticed this too, and he didn't call it a flaw. He didn't say the wandering mind was broken or bad. He said this is simply what minds do. What matters, he taught, is the moment you notice. This is subtle, but it's important. Many of us think the goal is to stop the mind from wandering, to achieve perfect focus, to eliminate all distraction. But the Buddha's teaching is different. Distractions will come, thoughts will rise, that can't be stopped. But when you notice, when you realize, oh, I've drifted, you can return. There's also a common misunderstanding worth clearing up. People often think that being present means having no thoughts. It doesn't. Even if thoughts are moving through you, if you're aware that you're thinking, if you can see it happening, that is presence. The difference between being swept away by a current and watching the current flow is everything. Here's a simple image. Imagine a river. When you're inside the current, you are the current. You're being pulled along without even knowing it. But when you're standing on the bank, watching the water move, something different is happening. You're observing. Awareness is learning to stand on the bank. A thought rises, anger maybe, or anxiety, and instead of becoming it, you simply notice, anger is here. You see it, you don't have to fight it, you don't have to follow it, you just see it from the bank. And the Buddha offered one more gift. The tool to return is always with you. That tool is your breath. No matter how far the mind has traveled, the body is always here. And of everything in the body, the breath is the most honest reporter of this present moment. Always moving, always now. When you want to return to this moment, just feel your breath. That is exactly what Gautama did, over and over again, through that long night beneath the tree. Each time, the mind pulled him toward memory or fear. He came back, not with effort, but with recognition. The way you might recognize a familiar street after a long detour, and simply turn toward home. He did this not once, but 1,000 times before dawn came. This practice of noticing and returning isn't a relic from ancient India. It lives in our everyday lives, in the exact situations you might be facing today. Let's look at a few. First, work. Imagine the night before a big presentation. You're sitting at your desk, but your fingers aren't moving. Inside your head, a chorus has started. What if it goes badly? My boss isn't going to like this. I keep thinking about that mistake from last year. An hour passes, nothing has happened. Most of us in this moment tell ourselves to concentrate. We tighten up, bear down, try harder. But that's like standing in the middle of a river, shouting at the current to stop. The effort itself makes it worse. The Buddha's way is quieter. First, just notice. Oh, my mind has flown into the future. Just that. No judgment, no self-criticism. Then bring your attention back to one breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the chair beneath you. Stay in your body, in this second. Just 1 second. Your mind may drift again. That's fine. Notice again, return again, as many times as it takes, without blame. That steady, gentle repetition slowly builds a foothold here, in the present. Second, relationships. Have you ever been with someone you love and realized in the middle of their sentence that you haven't heard a word they've said? Your child is telling you about school, but your mind is already planning dinner. Your partner is trying to share something real, but you're already rehearsing your reply. You're physically there, but gone. These moments accumulate quietly, and so does the ache that follows. They never really listen. Sometimes that feeling is born not from cruelty, but from absence. From all the time someone's body was there, but their presence wasn't. Noticing and returning can change the texture of your relationships. The next time you feel your mind pull away while someone is speaking, just notice it and come back. Come back to the tone of their voice, the look in their eyes, this moment. That small return is felt more deeply than most words. It says, "I'm here, you matter." And one more, aging. As the years pass, many of us find our bodies behaving in ways they didn't before. Less stamina, a memory that slips, things we used to do easily, now out of reach. And the mind responds by leaving the present entirely, retreating into the past, "I used to be stronger," or leaning into fear of the future, "What happens when it gets worse?" Caught between what was and what might be, the present simply disappears. But when you return to now, something waits for you here. The warmth of food, the light coming through a window, a smile on someone's face. These small, certain things haven't gone anywhere. They're only missed when the mind is elsewhere. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering doesn't come from what is actually happening. It comes from not being present for our own lives. Worn down by yesterday's regret and tomorrow's fear, we miss today entirely. The door back in is always the same. Come back to now. One breath, one sound, the feeling of your own hands resting in your lap. This is not a small thing. It is in fact the whole practice, repeated across a lifetime, across 10,000 ordinary moments, just like this one. So, what can you actually do today? Here is the first thing. Practice returning to your breath. This is exactly what the Buddha did beneath the Bodhi tree. You don't need a special posture. You don't need to sit on a cushion or close your eyes. You can do this anywhere, anytime, the moment you remember. The next time your mind feels restless, try this. First, notice, my mind has gone somewhere. That's it. Just see it. You don't have to judge yourself, just observe, the way you'd notice a cloud passing. You could even say quietly to yourself, "There I go again." Gently, with a kind of soft humor. Then, turn your attention to the air, entering your nose. Is it cool? Warm? Feel it for just 1 second. Then, feel the breath leaving. 1 second. That's all. 3 seconds maybe. Nothing more is required. The Buddha's monks and followers carried this practice through every part of their day. Walking, eating, speaking. Hundreds of times, thousands of times. Not as a discipline, not as a burden. Just as a quiet return, woven into ordinary life. The second thing, give yourself 1 moment a day with your 5 senses. Today, when you eat something, just 1 bite. Slow down, notice the temperature, the smell, the texture against your tongue. 1 bite is enough. That simple act pulls the mind back into the body, into here. This may sound almost too easy, but what the Buddha found beneath the tree was exactly this. The deepest stillness doesn't live in complexity. It lives in the return, again and again, to what is simple and present. Just this breath, just this taste, just this moment. If you carry one thing with you from today, let it be this. When you notice your mind has flown away, feel 1 breath. Just 1. That's enough. Try it today. A monk once asked his teacher how long it takes to become free. The teacher picked up his teacup, drank slowly, and set it down. That long, he said. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with just 1 question. Right now, in this moment, where is your mind? Is it somewhere in the past? Is it worrying about something ahead? Or is it here, with this voice, in this breath? You don't have to answer. You don't have to do anything at all. Just, for a moment, be here. A monk once asked his teacher, "What is the secret of your happiness?" The old man smiled and said, "When I walk, I walk. When I eat, I eat. When I sleep, I sleep." That was all, nothing added, nothing taken away. And the student stood there, waiting for something more, certain he had missed the point entirely, which of course was the point. Perhaps this is enough for today. 1 meal eaten slowly, 1 door closed with full attention, 1 person looked at as though they truly matter. That is the whole teaching, carried home in your hands. The ground beneath this practice, simply recognizing what is, without trying to fix it, we explored in a previous teaching. What the Buddha discovered beneath the Bodhi tree was never meant only for him. Every mind wanders. His did too. So did his students. So does yours. So does mine. That is not a failure. It is simply the nature of the mind. The point was never to stop wandering. The point was to notice and come back. 100 times a day if needed. 1,000 times. Each return is not a defeat. It is the practice itself. You cannot go back to yesterday. You cannot get to tomorrow early, but you can always return to now, in any moment, in any circumstance. No matter how tired you are, no matter how scattered you feel, your breath is here, your body is here. This moment hasn't gone anywhere. It's only ever the mind that wanders. And the mind, your mind, knows how to come home. It learns a little more each time you notice, just as the Buddha did, through that long quiet night, noticing, returning, again and again. So can you. Every single day. Thank you for being here with me today. May your day hold a little more stillness, a little more ease. I look forward to sitting with you again. And if you forget, if the whole day passes in noise and distraction, and you never once stop to notice, that is all right too. Tomorrow morning the breath will still be there, waiting, patient as it has always been, just as it was there this morning when you opened your eyes, before the first thought arrived, before the first worry took shape. It has never once given up on you. One story a day. Try it. In a week your words will change. In a month your eyes will change. In a year the same world will look completely different.